Let's talk about something that can change your life, the difference between a true friend and a fake one. And I want you to really hear this, because if you're a woman who's ambitious, kind-hearted, or growing in any direction, you will face this. Understanding the difference between real and fake friendships isn't just a social skill. It's survival, emotional survival. And it's one of the most important things you will ever learn. Because the people you allow in your life, those closest to you, are the people who shape your self-worth, your energy, your mindset, and even your future. So let's break this down. A true friend is someone who wants to see you win. Not just when it's convenient, not just when you're down and they get to play the hero, but even when you're shining, especially when you're shining. A real friend isn't threatened by your glow. They help you fix your crown when it's crooked, and they cheer for you loudly when you walk into your light. There's no competition, no jealousy disguised as support, no backhanded compliments, no weird energy in the room when you announce your new promotion or the fact that you're finally happy in your relationship. They don't get quiet when good things happen for you. They celebrate like it's their own win. That's love. That's what real friendship looks like. Now let's talk about the opposite of that. Fake friends. These people are actors, and unfortunately, many of us are too trusting to spot the performance early on. Fake friends show up when it benefits them. They're the macer. They can be seen with you, when they can get something from you, when it makes them feel powerful or relevant or important. But the second you need something real, the second life gets hard or the spotlight shifts, watch how they vanish. Watch how they get uncomfortable. How they start to subtly withdraw. How they make you feel like a burden for needing them. You'll hear excuses like, "I've just been so busy," or "You're strong. You got this." But underneath that, there's a complete lack of presence. That's a fake friend. Another key difference is how they react to your pain. A real friend feels with you. They don't have to solve your problems, but they show up. They sit next to you in your darkness, even if they don't have the right words. They call. They check in. They let you cry. They don't disappear because you're not a fun that day. A fake friend. They're Mia the minute the energy shifts. You start talking about something heavy, and suddenly they're a busy, distracted, or worse, annoyed. Why? Because it's not about them anymore. Your pain isn't entertaining. Your vulnerability isn't convenient. And so they're gone. Now let me say something loud and clear. This is not your fault. You are not a too much for wanting a friendship that's deep, loyal, and real. You're not needy. You're not clingy. You're a human being, and human beings need connection. You deserve people in your life who see you, hear you, and respect you, especially in your lowest moments. But here's the truth that most people avoid. The reason many of us hold on to fake friends is because we're afraid of being alone. And I get it. Loneliness hurts. I want you to understand something crucial. There is peace in being alone that you will never find in fake company. When you choose to walk away from the wrong people, you make space for the right ones. And that's not just a feel-good quote. That's a life strategy. You have to raise your standards, not just in romantic relationships, but in friendships too. Stop accepting crumbs. Stop excusing bad behavior because of how long you've known someone. Time invested is not love. Consistency is love. Support is love. Truth is love. And if someone's not bringing that into your life, you need to stop giving them the best parts of you. You are not here to carry people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You are not here to be someone's emotional punching bag or backup plan. You are here to live your life fully with joy, with peace, and with people who match your energy. So if you're feeling off about someone, trust that. Pay attention. How someone treats you when you're vulnerable is the real test of friendship. You owe it to yourself to stop calling people friends who wouldn't even pass the basic test of loyalty, kindness, and respect. Let them go. Walk away. Because once you start surrounding yourself with the real ones, your life will start to feel lighter. And that is where your power begins. Your power begins. Let's talk about competition in friendships. Because this is one of the most overlooked toxic patterns that so many women silently endure. And if you've ever felt like your friend low-key resents your success, this is for you. A real friend celebrates your growth. A fake friend competes with it. And there's a big difference between inspiration and rivalry. When you're close to someone, it's natural to influence each other. That's part of the magic of friendship. You help each other rise. But when someone can't be happy for you unless they're doing better than you, that's not a friendship. That's a scoreboard. And you're not in a relationship. You're in a competition you didn't even sign up for. Pay attention to how people respond when you win. Do they get quiet? Do they change the subject? Do they suddenly start highlighting their own achievements out of nowhere, like they're trying to prove something? That's not normal. That's a red flag. A healthy friend doesn't feel threatened by your glow. She cheers you on because she knows your success doesn't take anything away from her. There's no scarcity in real friendship. There's enough love, enough opportunity, enough room at the top for all of us. But a fake friend? They don't see it that way. They see your growth as a threat to their self-worth, and so they start competing, subtly. It could be a sarcastic comment when you're excited about something new. Oh, must be nice to have time for that. Or it could be them rushing to do something similar, not because it excites them, but because they need to prove they're still ahead. And the worst part? They do it while pretending to support you. That's the mind game. Fake friends wear masks. They'll say things like, "I'm so happy for you," but their tone says otherwise. Their energy feels heavy. You walk away from the conversation second-guessing yourself, wondering if you were bragging, wondering if you should have downplayed your joy. And let me tell you something, you should never have to shrink your success to make someone else comfortable. Real friends don't require that. Real friends want you to shine as bright as possible, and they'll bring the damn sunglasses if they have to. Women are taught from a young age to compete, to be prettier, smarter, more successful, more desirable. We're conditioned to compare, but that stops with you. You get to break that pattern by choosing friendships rooted in respect, not rivalry. And part of that process means calling it what it is when someone's competing with you instead of cheering for you. Don't gaslight yourself. If something feels off, it probably is. You might notice it in the little things. Maybe you land a new job, and instead of saying, "That's amazing, I'm proud of you," they say, "Well, I've been thinking about making a move too." Or you start a new health journey, and suddenly they're talking about how they've always been more disciplined. You share your wins, and they bring the conversation back to themselves. Every single time. And it's exhausting. Because instead of feeling uplifted, you feel like you're being dragged into a silent war you never agreed to fight in. Now listen, some people do this out of insecurity. They don't even realize they're doing it. But just because someone is unaware doesn't mean it's your job to tolerate it. You can love someone and still recognize that their behavior is toxic. You can care about someone and still walk away when the relationship becomes emotionally draining. You are not here to tiptoe around someone's ego. You are not responsible for making your joy more palatable for others. Your wins matter. Your progress matters. And anyone who makes you feel guilty or uncomfortable about that is not in your corner, period. The truth is, the people you surround yourself with either elevate you or drain you. And when you're connected to someone who's constantly competing with you, it chips away at your confidence. Slowly. Quietly, you start questioning your worth. You start doubting your voice. And before you know it, you're holding yourself back just to keep the peace. But here's the reality. You can't grow in a space that requires you to shrink. Real friendship is a safe space for both people to thrive, to shine, to evolve. And if someone can't handle your glow, they're not your people. Wish them well and move on. Because the more you protect your peace, the more space you make for the kind of women who will clap for you every step of the way. And let me tell you, those women exist. They're out there. But you have to stop giving your time and energy to people who are silently rooting against you just to find them. So let go of the fake competitors and start building a circle of real women who don't just stand beside you. They rise with you. Let's get brutally honest for a second. If someone is talking about you behind your back, they are not your friend. I don't care how long you've known them, how many memories you've shared, or how much they smile in your face. Real friends protect your name in rooms you're not in. Fake friends, they throw your name around like it means nothing. And too many women stay in toxic friendships because they don't want to be a dramatic or a petty. Let me tell you something. Protecting your peace is not petty. Calling out betrayal is not drama. It's self-respect and today. Gossip is one of the clearest signs that a person lacks integrity. And when it comes from someone close to you, it stings in a way that words can't explain. You feel exposed, disrespected, and worst of all, you start questioning everything. What else have they said? Who else knows my personal business? That kind of doubt can destroy trust in a heartbeat. And once that trust is broken, the foundation of the friendship crumbles with it. No, it's more subtle. It's the comments wrapped in concern. I just think she's making a mistake. Or the ones that start with a no offense but, which, let's be honest, always means offense is coming. It's the eye roll when you're not looking, the backhanded joke disguised as humor, the private details you shared in confidence suddenly becoming public knowledge. It's betrayal disguised as conversation, and it's unacceptable. The truth is, what someone says about you when you're not around says everything about their character and their loyalty. A real friend defends you. Period. They shut down the gossip, they correct the narrative, and they don't allow your name to be dragged through the mud just to feel included in a conversation. That's called integrity. That's called respect. And that's the bare minimum you should expect from anyone in your inner circle. But let's flip this for a moment, because this might sting. If your friend is gossiping about other people to you, chances are she's gossiping about you to other people too. That's not loyalty, that's entertainment. And if someone's using you as their gossip buddy, you're just another player in their drama reel. Don't confuse shared secrets with shared values. Some people don't connect through love or trust. They connect through negativity. And you don't need that energy in your life. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but she's always been there for me. Or she doesn't mean it like that. Let me stop you right there. Stop making excuses for people who keep showing you who they really are. If someone continues to disrespect you, the problem isn't their behavior, it's your boundaries. And I say that with love, because setting boundaries isn't about being mean, it's about being clear. If you can't keep my name out of messy conversations, you don't get access to my life. It's that simple. We have to stop normalizing friendships that are based on fear, obligation, or history. Just because someone's been around for a long time doesn't mean they belong in your future. Time does not equal loyalty. Actions do. And when someone shows you that they can't be trusted with your name, your secrets, or your energy, you owe it to yourself to walk away. Not with anger, not with revenge, with clarity. Here's the part that really matters. Protecting your space isn't about isolating yourself. It's about creating room for the right people to step in. People who uplift you when you're not in the room. People who speak life over your name when you're not listening. People who value your trust and guard it like it's their own. Those people exist. But you won't find them if you keep entertaining the ones who disrespect you behind your back. Let them talk. Let them show their true colors. And you can't have peace when you're surrounded by people who secretly want to see you fall. You deserve friendships rooted in honesty, loyalty, and love. Anything less is just noise. And you're not here for noise. You're here to build a life full of genuine connections, mutual respect, and soul-deep trust. So protect your name, protect your energy, and protect your heart. The right people will always have your back, even when you're not there to see it. Have you ever left a conversation with someone feeling completely drained, like your energy just got sucked out of you? That's not your imagination. That's your body and mind signaling something important. That person is not good for your spirit. One of the biggest signs of a fake friend is how you feel after spending time with them. And if you're always left feeling anxious, small, exhausted, or confused, pay attention. Real friendships are meant to energize you, not deplete you. They're supposed to be safe places where you feel seen, supported, and understood, not judged, picked apart, or emotionally drained. Some people don't show up to love you, they show up to take from you. And they do it so subtly that it takes time to notice. These are the friends who only talk about themselves. Every conversation circles back to their problems, their drama, their lives. You could be in the middle of sharing something that matters to you, and suddenly the spotlight's off of you and right back on them. It's not just self-centered, it's dismissive. And after a while, you stop talking, you stop sharing, you start shrinking. And that's not friendship, that's emotional theft. Fake friends thrive on imbalance. They want you to always be the one giving, the advice giver, the cheerleader, the emotional support system. But when it's your turn to lean on them, they disappear. Or worse, they make you feel guilty for needing anything at all. They throw around words like you're too sensitive or you're overthinking it when you try to express how you feel. That's not emotional honesty. That's manipulation. And you deserve better than that. Let's be real. Relationships are a two-way street. We all go through seasons when we lean on our friends a little more. That's normal. That's human. But if the pattern is constant, if you're always the one pouring and never being poured into, that's a sign that the connection is toxic. It doesn't mean the person is evil. It just means the friendship isn't aligned anymore. And that misalignment over time can impact everything. Your mood, your self-esteem, your ability to focus on your goals. It's that deep. Some fake friends come with a different kind of energy drain, the negative kind. The ones who complain constantly, who always have a crisis, who always find a reason why life is unfair or someone else is to blame. These are the ones who view the world through a lens of lack. And when you're around them, your vision starts to get cloudy too. You start to doubt your optimism. You start to second-guess your ambition because their energy doesn't inspire, it infects. You have to protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Your energy is your life force, and anyone who repeatedly drains that energy is costing you something you can't afford to lose. You should not have to recover from every interaction you have with someone who claims to care about you. That's not love, that's chaos. And the longer you tolerate it, the more you teach yourself that this level of exhaustion is normal. But it's not. Real friends leave you feeling lighter. Even in hard times, even when life is messy, there's a calm in their presence, a sense of safety. You can be yourself without fear of judgment or ridicule. You can show up messy, confused, imperfect, and still be loved. That's real connection. And if you've never experienced it, let me be the one to tell you. It's out there. You just have to let go of what's draining you to find it. You are not a fixer. You are not a therapist. You are not an emotional sponge for other people's unhealed wounds. You're a person with dreams, with needs, with a heart that deserves kindness in return. And the moment you start honoring that, your life changes, your circle tightens, your peace expands, and the emotional freedom that comes from that is priceless. So the next time you walk away from a conversation feeling heavy, don't ignore it, don't justify it. Don't gaslight yourself into thinking you're being too sensitive. You're not, you're being aware, and awareness is power. Let it guide you. Let it protect you. Let it lead you toward the people who feel like sunlight, not shadows. Because life is too short to keep giving your energy to people who only know how to take. You deserve to be surrounded by those who fill your cup, not empty it. And the moment you start choosing those kinds of connections, everything shifts, your joy rises, your confidence strengthens, and you begin to thrive, not just survive. That's the life you were meant for. And it starts with saying no to energy that drains you. Let's talk about something that's often disguised as love, but really, it's control. One of the most toxic signs of a fake friend is someone who constantly tries to control who you are, how you think, how you act, and even who you spend time with. At first, it might not seem obvious. It could be subtle, little jabs, backhanded compliments, or comments that make you question your own decisions. But make no mistake, when someone is trying to mold you into who they want you to be instead of loving who you actually are, that's manipulation, that's control, and that's not love. A true friend embraces you as you are. They accept your quirks, your passions, your weird sense of humor, your dreams, even if they don't always understand them. They want you to be fully yourself because they know that's where your power lives. But a fake friend, they'll try to dim that power. They'll try to make you feel like you need to tone it down, like you're too much or not enough, depending on how insecure they feel that day. It's about keeping you small so they can feel bigger. You'll start noticing it in small ways. But here's the hard truth. A fake friend is threatened by your success. They'll mask it as a concern or just being honest. But deep down, they're jealous, insecure, and uncomfortable with your growth. And that's something you can't ignore. They might be the ones who subtly downplay your achievements. You finally land that promotion, that opportunity. Or you make a breakthrough in your personal life, and they respond with something like, well, it's not that big of a deal, or I knew you could do it. They make it seem like your success doesn't matter, like it's not worth celebrating because on some level, they're threatened by it. They may not even realize it, but they're creating space between you and them because your light is shining too brightly for their comfort. This is the tricky part. Fake friends don't usually show their jealousy in obvious ways. They don't typically say, I'm jealous of you. Instead, they show it in how they act around your accomplishments. They might not show up to celebrate your wins, Oh, they might ignore your accomplishments or downplay them when you do share. And if you're paying attention, you'll notice the pattern. They're always there when things are difficult, when you're feeling low, when you need support, but when it comes to your victories, silence. It's painful because you're left wondering, oh, why can't they be happy for me? Why can't they support me the way I've supported them? But the truth is, their inability to celebrate your success comes from their own insecurities. They're not able to fully accept that your success doesn't diminish their worth. It actually has nothing to do with them at all. But they see it differently. They see your achievements as a reminder of what they feel they lack. They feel like they're being left behind or that they're not as good as you. And instead of celebrating your growth, they shrink back, withdrawing support, or worse, subtly trying to make you feel guilty for succeeding. Real friends, on the other hand, are the ones who cheer you on like you're the only person in the world. They don't see your success as a competition. They see it as a win for both of you. A true friend wants to see you rise because your victories mean more to them than their own ego. They know that when one person succeeds, it raises the entire group. They want you to have everything you dream of because they know that your success doesn't take away from their own journey. It enhances it. They are genuinely happy for you. They show up to celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. When you're surrounded by people who can't celebrate your success, it's a huge red flag. You start to realize that you're not safe in your friendship anymore. Your success, your joy, your achievements are now a threat. And that creates an environment where you feel like you have to shrink yourself to avoid making them uncomfortable. You might start downplaying your own wins just so you don't make them feel bad, and that is not a healthy dynamic. It's not your job to make someone else feel comfortable with your growth. Your job is to own your progress and surround yourself with people who can handle it, who can cheer you on, and who can hold space for your success. The more you give in to friendships where your success is a source of tension, the more you start to doubt your worth. You start to question whether you're allowed to celebrate, whether you're allowed to feel proud of yourself. And that is the danger of toxic friendships. They don't just steal your joy, they start to make you feel like you're not worthy of your own joy. They create doubt in your mind about your own worth and your own potential. And that's something no one should ever have the power to do. So if you find yourself in a friendship where your wins are consistently met with indifference, criticism, or even jealousy, it's time to reconsider the relationship because your success, your joy, and your victories are yours. They are not something to feel guilty about, and they certainly aren't something to shrink for. You deserve people who celebrate you, who recognize your worth, and who show up when it's time to lift you higher. And when you let go of relationships that hold you back, you create space for the ones that allow you to flourish. When you surround yourself with people who are truly happy for you, you'll find that your own light burns brighter. You'll begin to believe in your own potential even more because the people around you will reflect that belief back to you. And that's how you know you're in the right circle. You can't be afraid to outgrow people who aren't capable of growing with you. Let them go and make room for the ones who will walk beside you, supporting your success every step of the way.